Hello everybody, in Don 601, Rowan Victor here, and today we will be going over my top 5 favorite Jurassic World figures, because why the hell not? But, for figures to actually be entered into this, I have 2 rules, which is that no minis, and second of all, no Jurassic Park Kenner figures, because I only have one, and I've got no idea why I'm putting this in. I'm mostly doing this just to flex on y'all that I have a Kenner figure, since it's not actually a Jurassic World figure. So, I think I should spare you lots of time, and get on to the first figure. Number 5. The Carnotaurus. The Carnotaurus is a very nice figure, with a very good sculpt, a very nice paint job, and a really, and I mean really good looking detailed face. And as for the action feature, if you press down the button, it will do an action feature where its face lunges forward and it bites down, and if you hold down the button halfway, it will open its mouth and hold it in a pose as long as you hold the button. My main problem with figure doesn't really come from the figure itself. I'd say the main problem with it is why it's distributed around the UK, because I got this thing from America, and over here in England it's practically impossible to find this figure unless you go to some store in Newcastle, which I've never heard of before. But I'd say that's the only problem with the figure, because apart from that, the only other way of getting it is from Amazon, which goes for a absolutely outrageous price. So just for that alone, I'd bumped it down to number 5 on my list. Number 4. The Rorvos Baryonyx. The Rorvos Baryonyx is, in my opinion, the best Rorvos out of the whole entire line, with a really good sculpt and a very accurate head and a very accurate paint scheme to the movie, also along with this great looking neon blue for the top of his head. I think it just makes it the best one out of the lot, especially with the fact that Baryonyx is one of my favourite dinosaurs. But then we get to the gimmick, which is the same problem with all Rorvos, which when you press the button, it closes its mouth and roars. Now, the last time I checked, that is not how mouths work. Number 3. The fully articulated Indoraptor. The Indoraptor has a impeccably, I can't say the word, has a incredible sculpt compared to the one in the movie. It is really accurate, and I absolutely love it for that. And with the sculpt, the Indoraptor also has a extremely accurate paint scheme, with the golden strike going down its body, with the red marks behind its eyes, really making it appealing and very accurate to the movie. And if you heard me, I said this thing was fully articulated, which means you can turn it at pretty much any point. You can turn its head, arms, tail, etc. And you can put it in some very unique poses and pretty much in any pose which you want, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, depending on how you use it. Number 2. The Legacy Extreme Chomping or whatever Spinosaurus. The Spinosaurus has a downright great sculpt. The only thing I could nitpick with it is the size of the tail, along with most things, and its paint scheme could be a bit more accurate to the one which appears in JP3. No, so this is the biggest figure in the whole entire line, and it's a exclusive to a store. I appreciate them for that. And the gimmick is that you press a button down at the back of the neck, making its jaw open way bigger than it should, to like sort of do some kind of giant roar or a really bad bite. And number 1, my favourite Mattel dinosaur so far that I have in my collection. The Thrash and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex. The Thrash and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex has a downright incredible sculpt, which is very accurate to the movies, with a colour scheme which is once again very, very accurate to Rexy, who we see in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. This T-Rex has multiple gimmicks, like when you pull up on her tail, she bites down. Another one is that when you shake the tail side to side, her head thrashes in both directions, which is probably the worst gimmick out of the lot. And when you pull down on her tail, she lifts up her head and roars. And to make the gimmick, when she stomps her feet, she makes a stomping sound. They have a burn on the bottom of the foot, which you press, it'll make the noise with a speaker on it, which horrifies me. Now we get to the main problem of the figure, because as you see here, I am adjusting the feet of the T-Rex on solid ground, and she's standing perfectly. But as soon as I stand it on the floor, she falls down immediately, so she can't stand on carpet, which isn't very useful when 95% of your house is covered in carpet. So yeah, now that was my top 5 Mattel Jurassic World figures. Sorry if yours didn't make it on here, because this is my personal opinion, and I can have my opinion, and you can have yours. And I know this was a very short upload, and I apologise for I haven't been uploading instead of been live streaming. But hey, even though it's short, at least I'm bothered to make a video this time. And the thing is, next week is my last week at school, then I'll have 2 weeks of the Easter holidays, but I will be away for the second week, and I have a few videos planned for next week about an announcement and maybe a video on my main problem with Jurassic Park antagonists. But anyways, I should probably spare you some time here and just end the video. So thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, isn't Dom Text you one wrong to victory?